Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nirav Mehta. I am a product leader within the Google Cloud Compute organization. And I'm very excited today to have with me Moloco.
Hi, my name is Sechan. I'm the Director of Machine Learning at Moloco.
I'm Kunal. I am a senior machine learning engineer at Moloco, and I lead the teams related to hardware accelerators, that is GPUs and TPUs at Moloco.
What does Moloco do?
We built a so-called operational ML platform for other businesses. To elaborate, by operational ML platform, we mean a large-scale continuous running ML system that powers the business to continuously make decisions in a real-time scale. This year, we are celebrating our 11th anniversary. We started a Moloco as business. Moloco as business help any business to grow their user, mobile app developers to grow their users by acquiring new users and also re-engage with existing users. But also we have a Moloco Commerce Media that basically helps any online marketplaces to generate new revenue streams through mobile advertising. The third, but not least, we also have a Moloco streaming monetization, which again helps the streaming service providers to generate revenue through mobile advertising.
Why don't you help us understand some of the dynamics in your industry and how data and AI is fueling the need to be more creative and also solve new challenges?
So the concept of deep learning and advanced machine learning has been there for many years, and many companies are able to actually leverage that. But when it comes to the mobile advertising, it's actually not that simple. If you think about the number of display advertising you may see on a daily basis, it's a lot. Really leveraging this high computing power for deep learning advertising space is actually a very challenging problem than people generally think. So because of the reason, the use of the advanced machine learning has been quite limited. To be honest, maybe a couple of world garden companies like Google may be enjoying that for a while. But with the recent advances in machine learning and also all this cloud computing, basically make it more accessible to many companies. Now I can see that a lot of companies far beyond this small number of world garden companies are now really enabling this, unlocking the value of machine learning in mobile advertising. With a lot more competition, a lot more advancements in the recent days.
What are some of your business challenges that you're trying to solve in a highly competitive space that you will apply AI to?
So if you think about our enterprise business, like a commerce media and stream monetization, so we are basically building an operational ML system for our clients. And we all know that protecting their user data in a privacy-centric manner is very critical. So meaning that we gotta build a platform for each client in a complete siloed way. So meaning that we won't be able to build a gigantic model to support every client. We really have to build a dedicated operational ML system for each client. From the ML perspective, that requires that we cannot really do a lot of feature engineering. Feature engineering has been very critical to effectively unlock the true value of the user data. But for us to scale and then onboard so many clients to help their value, we cannot really do that practice. So meaning that a lot of the recent flexible machine learning architecture, such as Transformer, which can actually run from the data directly without much help from the engineers, has been critical. But what does it mean? It requires a lot more computing power than the conventional deep learning models. And that's why that has been pretty critical for us to partner with Google to unlock the value of the accelerated hardwares.
Right. So the application of transformers to work directly with data to rapidly gain outcomes. And yes, computationally very, very intensive. That's a nice segue to go to the ML engineer here. And, maybe you can build on that to tell us, how did you apply AI and how did you use Google ML technology to achieve your outcomes?
The scale of our AI training and serving workloads at Moloco is quite unique. We train more than 1,000 model instances every day. We serve more than 650 billion model inferences every day. At its peak, that's more than 10 million model inferences in a second. Each model inference is a pass through a deep neural network and needs to be completed within 16 milliseconds. We know very few companies that operate at this scale, Google being one of them. So what made us believe that Google Cloud is the right fit is, one, our trust that Google will be able to handle our scale, considering they've already done it themselves. And two, Google's focus on AI. Both of these made us believe that Google Cloud is the right destination to meet our AI infrastructure needs. Moreover, Google Cloud is the only cloud provider that provides you access to both GPUs and TPUs for AI workloads, something that we believe is pretty important. Like basically hardware diversity.
How are you choosing one over the other, and also how are you making the most of this choice?
Just using GPUs and TPUs on GKE is pretty convenient. What is challenging though is using GPUs and TPUs for our workloads considering our latency requirements. Remember that 16 milliseconds I just mentioned? So to use GPUs and TPUs for our workloads, we need to heavily optimize our workloads for each hardware accelerator. What that means is we have to go very low in the stack to shave off microseconds so that we can do better ad targeting for our customers in our given time budget. A lot of these optimizations were done by us along with the Google Cloud team in a very tight loop. A lot of them had to do with sparse cores on TPUs.
What were some of your learnings?
I was extremely surprised by the amount of effort it took to optimize these workloads. When you're in a space like ours, you need to extract the most out of the device to the microsecond level. The closest parallel that I can draw to such work is work done at high frequency trading firms who again operate at the microsecond level. Even they do not handle like tens of millions of orders in a second like we do. It really surprised me the amount of effort we needed to put to optimize our models on different hardware accelerators. And again, like close work with the Google Cloud team here was instrumental.
You are also using the Google Kubernetes Engine.
We are a pretty fast growing company, right?
Yeah.
Our revenue grew 8 times from 2020 to 2023. Now that's great, right? But it's a challenge for the infrastructure teams. When you have such high growth, your infrastructure needs keep evolving. That's where I believe GKE came into the picture. Features such as cluster autoscaling are very helpful in adapting the infrastructure to changing needs. Moreover, cluster management features like auto repair, auto upgrade, make sure that the amount of effort you need to put into managing your cluster does not increase as your infrastructure size increases.
Much of the infrastructure is self-governing.
Yeah,
Scales as you need.
exactly.
And you're doing less of that, more of machine learning.
Exactly.
What were some of the outcomes that really stood out to you qualitatively?
Yeah.
How did this change how your customers perceived your product?
I think, Nirav, as you mentioned, when you have faster, scalable, and reliable infrastructure, your engineers can innovate much faster. They can iterate much faster. This helps us create a higher quality machine learning solution for our customers. And that essentially means faster growth, more revenue for our customers.
Anything quantitative that stood out to you?
I think this migration to TPUs and GKE helped speed up our training workloads by up to 10 times. But what surprised me is along with being 10 times faster, the cost per job also went down by 2 to 4 times.
Sechan, anything more you want to add in terms of benefits to your company, not just today, but how that might shape the next 10 years of Moloco?
So as Google Cloud has been making all this state-of-the-art infrastructure to be accessible to any companies in the world, like Moloco in 10 years ago. So we are on a mission to democratize this state-of-the-art AI-powered advertising solution to any companies in the world. And we are basically shipping those solutions on top of Google Cloud. So I think we are adding value on top of Google, and also our solution is powered by Google.
What few tips do you have for them about how they could start and accelerate some of their own projects for applying Google technologies to machine learning?
Some of the tips that I can give is there are a lot of good public benchmarks out there. There are a lot of good public implementations out there, which can be good references, good starting points to build on top of. I think building on top of this, I won't take away from the complexity, but there are good tools provided by Google, like for example, TensorBoard, that can be used effectively to optimize the workloads further. Moreover, I think in our personal experience, Google Cloud support was very helpful, especially for certain kinds of issues. So definitely leverage them as well.
Sechan, anything you want to add on what some of the others might do to be successful like you are?
So when we chose Google Cloud many years ago, so for sure computing infrastructure is very critical. But at the same time, for us to really build an operational ML platform, having the best data solution is as important. For example, our offline training data generation pipeline is completely built on the BigQuery and data flow solutions. And also our online feature serving system is built on Bigtable and also the memory store. So in our view, Google's cloud offering has been really centered around the AI solutions from the very beginning. and then having the right set of the solutions beyond the computing engines has been critical for our success. So I think any other companies who are in the early stage and choosing the right cloud solution providers, so not only the single computing machine, but also whole variety of the packages that is really critical for their needs, such as the ML or AI, would be very critical.
I think what you've done resonates strongly with us. It aligns with our vision of what we call the AI hypercomputer, which is right from offering choice of GPUs and TPUs. Both have a great place in the stack, to software frameworks and platforms and giving you that choice, but then most importantly, giving you the know-how that we have on how to fine-tune, how to run this at scale. Thank you to our listeners for joining us today. I hope that was useful. And thank you, Moloco, for sharing your insights. Very, very delighted to have you.
Thank you, Nira. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.